Now, this is rich. Lord of the Rings Tales of the Shire has been a game which was roundly criticized last year, and people were laughing at it as basically a DEI Lord of the Rings. Well, now their lead producer is calling the DEI agenda throughout video game industry a conspiracy. And I've been warning everybody, this is what they're going to start to do. They're going to start to just say, it's not DEI, it's not woke. What are you talking about? This all began with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, where they marketed it as not woke. Despite the fact that they put a black person into medieval court, despite the reason the whole child sodomy thing that they have between Henry and Hans in it, they marketed it otherwise, and a lot of people just didn't see how bad this was going to be right away. Now, Tales of the Shire is going to have a different situation because they have an art style that does not fit Lord of the Rings, which makes it very, very difficult in an uphill battle for them to get anything going whatsoever. And the gameplay doesn't make sense with Lord of the Rings either. It's like a Sims for Lord of the Rings, which nobody asked for and nobody wanted. It's going to be a different deal on this level, but at the same time, the DEI is very, very prevalent in it. It is part of the agenda, and so they're going to try to market it away from that and just use the Lord of the Rings brand to try to coast off of things. This is their game plan in 2025. Woke is not gone, guys. They've just gone more subversive. They're going to go more perverted, and we are going to cover it every step of the way here. Hit the like and subscribe button, everybody, as we join and talk about all things in fantasy, especially Lord of the Rings and video games. Really appreciate you for being here. I'm a fantasy author myself. I would love for you to grab my fantasy series today. This is called The Adventures of Baron von Monocle. Book 1 for Steam and Country is about a girl who's inheriting an airship from her father, and a crew goes and quests against a monster. It's a lot of fun. It's real heroism. It's what fantasy used to be before all this stuff took over. It's a 6-book series that really builds up with some great characters. There's a wonderful emperor that you get to meet in book 1 who really has like a lot of depth to his character. There are some wonderful steampunk knights that you get to meet as well, and they develop incredibly. It's such a great series. You should grab this in the description below. Get all 6 books on ebook, print, or audio today, and they are available for you. And thank you so much for making us a perennial bestseller here. Been a lot of fun over the last year with you guys reading. Okay, so Calliope Writer, the lead producer of Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game, claims that DEI agenda has taken over numerous video game developers is just a conspiracy. Uncovered by YouTuber Vera Dark, who's fantastic. Writer posted back in September 2024 to X, I promise I've never received a message from higher up that said needs more diversity so we can get government funding. She added, it's just that games are made by and for a wide range of people with varying experiences. There's no scary cabal forcing devs to add women and people of color to games. Now, doesn't this sound a lot like Kingdom Come when it was revealed that there was, in fact, a graphic gay sex scene forced into the game when the characters were not gay in the first game? Now they are. Yay. Slay Queen. They went out and said, nobody forced us to do this, as if the forced is the problem. The problem is the graphic homosexual content in it. And the problem is taking something like The Shire and adding weird black hobbits to it, which wouldn't make any sense in any context. It just ruins Tolkien's work, just like that ruined the Kingdom Come historical work. All of this stuff is the same. So all of you get hired into these companies because you are proponents of this diversity. You get hired into these companies because you're a woman, I guess, in this point. Hopefully, you never know these days. You get hired into these companies because you're going to promote this agenda, and they comb through your social media and the like, and they know exactly where you stand. Otherwise, you wouldn't get in. And a lot of it's due to nepotism because a lot of people just hire their friends in the same thing. So yes, the agenda naturally occurs among the people who are there, but the people who are not going to do this, the people who are opposed to it, just don't get hired by these massive corporations. The massive corporations do not ever hire somebody who's standing up for white males and Christendom and J.R.R. Tolkien's legacy. Because why would they? This is something that has been going on for a long, long time. So to claim it's not a conspiracy, it is. And in fact, the fact that you come out and say this sort of thing makes it even worse than it seems like it would have been to begin with. So this is a quote tweet of somebody saying, man, all this woke BS discourse about games is such a specifically online thing because I promise you in real life, on a day-to-day basis, none of this exists. Look at this. None of it exists, guys. They keep saying the same lines over and over again while trying to force this into their content at the exact same time. So Writer followed up on that, saying, like, reading these conspiracies online about how the industry works is wild. There's no evil corp working on erasing white men from games. Oh, yes, there is. It's called BlackRock. They're busy figuring out how to make you and every other gamer spend more money on microtransactions. Also something that's true. Adding, I don't think these people understand that there's a very broad market of gamers. Representation does matter to many players, in some games more than others. Games are designed by the community that made them, but also by the market that will buy them. Oh, so it's just the market, bros. This is pretty interesting. And I'm seeing more and more of, the market will decide. The market will decide. No, it won't. It won't. It'll be all about marketing towards the market, and the marketing will then dictate whether something is good sales or bad sales. Doesn't matter what the content is at this point. If they can hide the content and make the marketing go, they're going to. And that's why they're just going to get more subtle about this kind of thing in these games. They're not going to advertise it with the black gay hobbits or whatever. I don't know that there's gay hobbits in it, but hey, this is the type of stuff that they're pushing into every single game, and it's across the board, and it's through every single company, and they're liars, is what it comes down to. And so know this is the rule that was established back in 2014 with the original Gamergate, when everything went down, when we saw the ethics problems in gaming journalism, the bad reviews, which, by the way, we now know that IGN is out there and said that they'll penalize people in video games if they use Gulf of America as a political sort of thing. They went mask off today, one of the IGN reviewers, and said that they're all about the political agenda for what they review. Imagine that, Dragon Age the Veilguard, getting your 9 out of 10. This is what's happening in gaming journalism, and this is exactly why we have to fight back and what this channel is all about. Because these people are liars. SJWs always lie. On top of it, the next thing's going to happen. SJWs always double down. You again see this with Daniel Vavra and the Kingdom Come deal. He keeps doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. And then the final thing is SJWs always project, because they're projecting their insecurities onto you. You don't need to see this like an obnoxious thing because they think they're racist inside and they think they're bigoted inside. So they have to show the representation as like some sort of like offering to their little weird cult that they've got going. And that's what's happening all across the industry at this point. Like I said, the marketing is starting to shift. They know that if you market it as diverse and inclusive, the market's not going to buy it. And so they're going to market it as something else now and then say, oh, it's not woke. Guys, just believe us, right? And that's what is coming down the pipeline for everything at this juncture. Now, it's really, really wild because the government has provided numerous organizations with funding for various DEI initiatives, whether that be LGBTQ+, as a comic book in Peru, drag shows in Ecuador, or the transgender opera in Colombia, expanding atheism in Nepal. It's also an anti-Christian agenda. It's happening for real. This has been coming from the government, and as much as they said that it's not happening, and there's not these evil corporations doing this, clearly it is. It has been exposed via USAID at this point, and Elon Musk is doing a great job doing so. You can go back to 2017, BlackRock CEO. I already mentioned the evil corporation that's doing this. Larry Fink. Imagine, you can't make up that the guy's name is Fink. Made it clear that DEI programs, policies, and initiatives need to be forced. He said behaviors are going to have to change. That is one thing we are asking companies. You have to force behaviors. And at BlackRock, we are forcing behaviors. So maybe Calliope here does not notice it and does not get forced herself, but her very hiring at this company is an act of this forcing that pushes this type of thing onto Lord of the Rings. And haven't Lord of the Rings fans dealt with enough? I mean, my gosh, this is so ugly and so stupid looking, on top of what we just saw with Roar the Rohirrim, that terrible anime movie where they turned everything into like a fake feminist narrative, which was very, very wild and actually had some lesbian implications to it as well. Obviously, DEI force there. Don't even get me started on Rings of Power, which is DEI, the series from Amazon, funded to a tune of $1 billion to make sure that people who are Lord of the Rings fans just get indoctrinated with this kind of stuff. This is exactly what's happening. Don't fall for it, guys, and don't fall for the marketing scams that these creative directors are going to go out and start doing in 2025. We have to remain vigilant, and we will call out all this stuff as it goes on here. We appreciate you for being here, and thank you for making us the most trusted name in video game and entertainment news. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button, and please also grab my books. It's in the description below, guys. You are going to love this if you enjoy fun fantasy. It's clean reads. Really appreciate you for being there. Grab it in ebook, print, or audio today.